Part 3, Calcium, the biochemical currency of neurotransmission and the substrate of memory. I am Naresh Saraph, and I welcome you to this series of intimate, philosophical dialogues. Friends, before we commence this profound discourse, permit me a humble caveat. This series is intended solely for the cultivation of profound contemplation, the expansion of cognitive horizons, and the elevation of human awareness. The paradigms articulated herein are synthesized from ancient philosophical tenets and my own empirical understanding. This discourse does not constitute medical, clinical, or Ayurvedic counsel, nor does it harbor the slightest intent to transgress upon anyone's deeply held convictions. I implore you to receive it with an open intellect, profound maturity, and a deeply contemplative spirit. In our preceding dialogue, we elucidated the critical role of carbohydrates as the foundational combustible of the brain. Today, we elevate our inquiry to the second, profoundly vital C of the C cube, calcium. In the collective consciousness, the term calcium is inextricably and almost exclusively tethered to the structural integrity of the skeletal system and dentition. From our earliest pedagogy, we are indoctrinated with the axiom that calcium equates to osseous fortitude. However, today, we shall unearth a dimension that supersedes even its skeletal functions. That dimension is the orchestration of cerebral function and the intricate mechanics of neurotransmission. It is the very language of the mind. The human encephalon is a biological marvel, a colossal, hyper-complex network comprising approximately 86 billion specialized cells known as neurons. Whenever you formulate a thought, retrieve a memory, or execute a decision, these neurons are engaging in a symphony of communication at speeds that defy comprehension. How is this dialogue facilitated? It is achieved through the propagation of electrical action potentials and the subsequent release of chemical messengers across synapses. In this miraculous process of synaptic transmission, the role of the calcium ion is paramount. It acts as the ultimate, infallible catalyst of neural communication. When an electrical impulse reaches the terminal axon of a neuron, it triggers the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels. This is the moment of inception. It is the rapid influx of these calcium ions that commands the neuron to release its payload of chemical messengers, the neurotransmitters, into the synaptic cleft. These neurotransmitters then bind to receptors, transmitting the signal. Without the precise intervention of calcium, this entire sophisticated communication infrastructure suffers catastrophic failure. It is akin to a state-of-the-art telecommunications network where the central switching station has lost power. The flow of information is completely paralyzed. If your physiological ecosystem suffers from a chronic deficiency of circulating calcium, this neural transmission decelerates profoundly. Your mind begins to lag. Have you ever found yourself in a meeting, attempting to articulate a crucial term, feeling it hovering on the periphery of your consciousness, yet remaining utterly unable to retrieve it? Or perhaps you have transitioned from one room to another with a specific intent, only to find your mind entirely devoid of purpose upon arrival? This is not just forgetfulness. Or you find yourself rereading a complex paragraph multiple times, unable to synthesize its meaning? These are the clinical manifestations of sluggish neurotransmission. While frequently misattributed to the inevitable cognitive decline of aging, these phenomena are often precipitated by inadequate intracellular calcium signaling. It is a biological issue. For the intellectual worker, the faculties of memory retention and incisive decision-making constitute their primary professional capital. You must protect this currency. To preserve and amplify these cognitive assets, the super-ultra balancing of calcium is an absolute, non-negotiable imperative. We must look at our sources. But from whence do we procure this vital element? Is the dairy industry our sole salvation? Absolutely not. There is a richer tapestry to explore. Within the rich tapestry of the traditional Indian diet, sesame seeds, till stand as a monumental repository of calcium, boasting 4 times the concentration of bovine milk. Finger millet, rajai, is another extraordinary source. Dark, leafy greens such as spinach, methi, and rajgira are veritable treasuries of this mineral. They are the fuels of our ancestors. Almonds, yogurt, paneer, and small fish are all exceptional vectors for calcium replenishment. But even with these, there is a critical physiological caveat. The mere ingestion of calcium is a futile exercise if the body is incapable of its absorption. The critical gatekeeper for this process is vitamin D. The tragedy of the modern knowledge worker is their existence as a diurnal troglodyte, sequestered in climate controlled offices, insulated from the life giving sun. Consequently, their cerebral cortex remains starved of calcium. Exposure to morning sunlight before 9 a.m. for 15 minutes is not a suggestion. It is a mandatory protocol. Furthermore, we must address the saboteurs of calcium retention. The excessive consumption of caffeine and a high sodium diet act as powerful diuretics. The laborer who consumes 5 cups of espresso to feign alertness is, in tragic irony, systematically flushing away the biochemical currency their brain requires for thought. We shall meet soon in the next part, but do not forget to subscribe to the Naresh Saraph channel. Quickly like the video, press the bell icon, hype it, contemplate it, and begin to live life with profound understanding.